Okay. In October each year, we mark National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we do so, we highlight the vital role of the American Cancer Society plays in our community, raising funds and awareness to support those who are living with breast cancer, people who have lost their battle, and thousands of families that are impacted. We are joined by Tessa Pratt, one of the coaches for West Suburban, making strides against cancer. The annual walk and fundraising event held at Cantini on October 1st. We celebrate and congratulate all who participated, including our WorkNet DuPage team, which includes Annie Davis and Amy Everett. Allow me to read our proclamation and allow our guests to say a few words. Whereas an estimated 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer in their lifetime, and 1 in 39 women will succumb to the disease. And whereas an estimated 1 in 1,000 men will develop breast cancer in their lifetime, but because less than 1% of all breast cancer patients cases develop in men, those cancers are often not diagnosed until the cancer has advanced. And whereas women and men can reduce their breast cancer risk by maintaining a healthy weight and being physically active throughout their lives, and early detection and prompt treatment can significantly reduce suffering and deaths caused by this disease. And whereas in every community, the American Cancer Society is providing free information and services to people fighting the disease. And whereas 1 in every 2 women newly diagnosed with breast cancer turn to the American Cancer Society for help and support. And whereas to show support for the American Cancer Society's fight against breast cancer, DuPage County residents participated in a Making Strides Against Breast Cancer walk at Cantini Park, raising funds and awareness about the effort to provide more research to reduce the incidence and impact of breast cancer throughout our nation and in our world. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Deborah A. Conroy, Chair of the DuPage County Board, and members of the DuPage County Board, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2023 as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month in DuPage County, and support the volunteers, donors, and staff of the American Cancer Society and all the organizations that are working to end breast cancer. Do I have a motion? Move. Okay. All right. Seconded. All in favor? Motion carries. Enacted the 10th day of October 2023 in Wheaton, Illinois.
Thank you so much for having me. As mentioned, my name is Tessa Pratt. I'm a Senior Development Manager with the American Cancer Society, and along with my coworker, Kyoko Chek, we are the staff partners for the Making Strides of West Suburban, which, as mentioned, took place at Cantini on October 1st. We are very happy to report that we welcomed over 2,500 participants, sponsors, and volunteers on event day. And to date, we have raised $228,000 and are on track to reach our goal of $275,000 for the American Cancer Society. While we're talking about our 2023 accolades, I'd like to give a special shout out also to Terry Albright and the rest of the DuPage County Sheriff's Office, who sold pink patches that they're wearing this month and raised $2,022 for our 2023 event. Being that it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I just wanted to share a couple of the ways that the American Cancer Society is here to support breast cancer patients and their families in DuPage County. As a reminder, although female breast cancer is the most diagnosed cancer worldwide, the number of women dying from breast cancer has declined by a rate of 43% from its peak in 1989 to 2020, mainly due to early detection and improvements in treatment. Breast cancer screenings truly save lives, and regular screenings can catch cancer early so that it is easier to treat. The current recommendation from the American Cancer Society is to start screening at age 45 with the option to start at 40. Women should talk to their healthcare providers about their risk and when to start screenings. Factors such as family history, genetics, and lifestyle play a factor in when to start screening. But once diagnosed, community support is key to survival, and that's where the American Cancer Society comes in again. The American Cancer Society offers free rides and lodging to treatment, peer-to-peer mentor programs like our Reach to Recovery program, and we have a brand new app that's called ACS Cares, which equips those facing with cancer curated content, programs, and services that are really customized to their cancer journey. Our website is also full of information for the newly diagnosed as well as their caregivers. And we have a 24/7 hotline where anyone can call 365 days a year with their questions about their journey or just for someone to talk to. And while our community's walk may have passed, there are still a few ways you can support the American Cancer Society in making strides. Part of how the American Cancer Society helps breast cancer patients and their families, as I mentioned, is through transportation. And we have an amazing program called Road to Recovery, which offers free rides to and from treatment for cancer patients. However, we are in need of more drivers in DuPage County to help fulfill rides to treatment. You can learn more or sign up at cancer.org/drive, or we have an opportunity in the Giving DuPage portal. We are also looking for community leaders to serve in our event leadership team for next year's walk. And we're continuing to accept donations until December 31st on our website. We hope to see you all next year at the Making Strides of West Suburban, which will be again at Cantini on October 6th, 2024. Thank you so much, DuPage County, for your support of the American Cancer Society and our mission to end breast cancer as we know it for everyone.
Okay, October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I'd like to invite District 2 representatives and Nicole Jordan of the Family Shelter Service to the podium. October also marks another important awareness month, Domestic Violence Awareness Month. As I looked over the proclamation today, one statistic really stood out. In DuPage County, approximately 225,000 residents are impacted by domestic violence annually. It's clear we have so much more work to do on this issue. I was pleased to hear from District 2 representatives Yina Yu, Paula Deacon Garcia, and Liz Chaplin, who are working with our recipient agency, Family Shelter Services of Metropolitan Family Services of DuPage, to host a supplies drive. I'll read a proclamation presented to our guests, Nicole Jordan, and let her and our board members share a few thoughts. Whereas Domestic Violence Month is observed during October to mourn lives lost to domestic violence, connect the millions of domestic violence survivors, and raise awareness on the impact domestic violence has on individuals, families, and communities. And whereas every year, approximately 10 million people become victims of domestic violence, which equates to 20 people per minute who are physically abused by an intimate partner. And whereas domestic violence is not limited to physical abuse, but includes emotional, verbal, sexual, and economic abuse, as well as intimidation and isolation, which are all used to maintain power and control over an intimate partner. And whereas domestic violence affects not only women, but men and children of all races, socioeconomic status, religion, and cultures. Whereas in DuPage County, approximately 225,000 residents are impacted by domestic violence annually. And whereas DuPage County is home to Family Shelter Services of Metropolitan Family Services DuPage, a local nonprofit organization which serves DuPage residents in various areas, including court advocacy, prevention education, hotline, emergency shelter, and counseling. And whereas Family Shelter Service has received 7,100 hotline calls in 2023 and provided healthy relationship education to 9,332 children in DuPage. And whereas the DuPage County Board is proud to spotlight Family Shelter Services for the work they do in not only empowering survivors of domestic violence to escape the abuse and rebuild their lives, but also educating communities on how to create lasting change to end violence. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Deborah A. Conroy, Chair of the DuPage County Board, and members of the County Board do hereby recognize October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, applaud the efforts of Family Shelter Services of Metropolitan Family Services DuPage, and urge county residents to learn about the devastating effects of domestic violence, creating a safer community for all. All in favor. Enacted this day, the 10th of October, 2023 in Wheaton, Illinois. Motion carries.
Good morning, everyone. Did you know that 225,000 DuPage residents are impacted by domestic violence annually? Domestic violence happens in every neighborhood. Everyone, including men, can be victims. Domestic violence happens to straight people, as well as people in the LGBTQ+ community. Abuse isn't caused by a mental illness. It's a decision that someone keeps making. It comes from learning they can use violence to get what they want without being punished. Most abusers don't have a mental illness diagnosis. Abuse is about feeling entitled, being possessive and disrespectful. Each year, approximately 10 million people become the victims of domestic violence. Family Shelter Service of Metropolitan Family Services is a nonprofit organization that works to build a community free of abuse. We are the only service of its kind in DuPage County. We offer a variety of services, including shelter, counseling, case management, support groups, court advocacy, legal support, early childhood education, foster care, and several others. My name is Nicole Jordan. I'm the Senior Domestic Violence Prevention Educator. I go to the schools to give your kids lessons on healthy relationships, red flags, the definition and age of consent, teen dating violence prevention, bullying, and the warning signs of tactics of abuse. I speak to nearly 10,000 students each year in middle schools, high schools, and college universities. Abuse isn't just physical and sexual or the obvious types of assault that we see in the movies. Abuse can be emotional, verbal, isolation, limiting independence, stalking, gaslighting, and so much more. Abuse is a pattern of behavior where one person wants to gain and maintain power and control over someone else. It's in the nice, upscale, and quiet neighborhoods where domestic abuse isn't so obvious. The number one reason a person stays with an abusive partner is financial security. Survivors often find it difficult to give up the home and lifestyle that they and their children are accustomed to leave an abusive relationship. Our agency serves close to 2,000 clients per year, providing over 16,000 hours of service to our clients. I also want to mention that recently our federal funding for Family Shelter Service was cut by 55%. So we especially appreciate raising awareness at the county level and pending donations drive, the donations drive hosted by District 2 board members and the County Health Department. On behalf of Family Shelter Service of Metropolitan Family Services and the thousands of domestic violence survivors in DuPage, I gratefully accept today's proclamation and appreciate the opportunity to speak to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Conroy, and to board members for adopting today's proclamation in honor of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. You know, what Nicole Jordan just said was just so important, and I was so pleased that she was able to be here today along with Julia Forte from Family Shelter Service. I just want to end by saying thank you to Family Shelter Service, to the County Health Department and county staff here for being so open to the District 2 sponsored donations drive for Family Shelter Service, and for helping me and members Garcia and members Chaplain for making it come to life. Thank you.
Okay, just a reminder that on October 17th, a week from today, board members are invited to participate in an afternoon strategic planning committee session. This session will be monitored by consultants from Barry Dunn, the company facilitating DuPage County's new strategic plan. The strategic planning session will be held in room 3500 A and B and will begin at 12:30. Okay. And on to matters of public comment. According to our county board rules, members of the public shall be afforded time to address the board. Individual remarks shall not exceed 3 minutes in length, nor shall the total time provided for all remarks exceed 30 minutes. Our first speaker is
Ginger Wheeler.
Attracting younger people to your community, because this is what younger people want, you know, as well. Access to schools, getting kids the chance to get to and from school safely without having to cross busy roads. All of these things are benefits, as well as environmental. You know, some people can't drive for whatever reason, giving them a safe means of transportation. And as well as putting eyes on natural areas where they could be kept safer and cleaner when people are able to be in there and enjoy that natural environment in a way that doesn't involve motor vehicles. So I just want to thank you again, and I'd like to, I don't know, give this to you. I'd like to present these petitions for you. And again, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Lori Comer.
We have some grave concerns about They have 7,000 petitions. We were all told that the path is utility greenways that border the expressway. And everybody was on board for that. I mean, I want a trail as well. But in the last year, we have found out about this plan. And we've talked extensively to Sidney Kenyon and to Chris Schneider, and found out that none of the plans actually go through the utility greenways. They don't want to deal with Nicor and different companies. And so the path is actually planned to go through the neighborhoods. And we're talking about cutting down 3,000 trees. We're talking about, running through backyards in Marymount. We're talking about going down a quiet little street called Sunnybrook. But the biggest concern is the College of DuPage is really pushing for a bridge over the DuPage River near 22nd Street. And there's a little elementary school nobody knows about that I actually went to, 50 years ago. And it's going to present a grave danger for children there because they're curious, right? They're going to want to go play on the bridge, and the DuPage River, people have drowned. It's also going to open up this quiet little elementary school to the gangs in Lombard, big homeless population that is starting to develop there. And we don't want our children anywhere near it. They don't want to bike path in my backyard. But if the engineering consider going after the original route, which was through those greenways, I don't think there would be any opposition. But we are, I hope everybody would check out the website. Some alternate options to what is being proposed by the county and by the engineering company. And we will continue to make our voice heard at these meetings and try and influence the course of the matter. Thank you.
Joe Sheehan. Joe Sheehan.
Hi, how are you? My name is Joe Sheehan. I'm the owner and operator of Cary Farms. You guys probably will have remembered me from the cannabis dispensary. As part of that development, I applied for a $600,000 EV charging infrastructure grant from the state. So you turned down the cannabis dispensary, but I won the EV charging station grant. Separately, after I won that grant, I partnered with the municipality downstate to apply for the CFI funding infrastructure grant with the federal money. That grant is $11 million. These chargers would be co-located at big box stores throughout the state. Basically, it's an 80-20 split. So the federal government would give me 8.8 million, and then I would have to come up with the 20% extra money. The locations are 14 big box stores throughout the state. So it's 14 different locations. Because it's clean energy, it entitles me to tier 1 tax credits, which allows me to claw back income tax on any jobs that I create. So I would have to create 50 jobs over 4 years. I can only do that if I stay on the current location that I'm at, which is down the street. Unfortunately, West Chicago has continued to sue me over the failed cannabis dispensary development. They have unreasonably refused to drop the matter. If the annexation happens, I would have no reason to keep my company in the county. I would have to take the 8 million if the federal government gives it to me, and take those jobs elsewhere. I've already won the $600,000 state grant this past year, which was kind of surprising, but I'm quite good at writing grants. I've used that same winning formula to apply for the federal level grant. I don't know if I'll win any of that money. I think my chances are pretty good. The locations are really good. Big box store barriers. Spend that money creating 50 jobs in DuPage County, but if I get annexed into West Chicago, I can't do that. The annexation is happening in about 6 weeks, so I just thought I'd let everyone know that this might be the last time you have to see me here. So thank you so much.
Tom Hayes.
Everybody. I'm not sure what the protocol is, but I think Sydney's here. Sydney was the gentleman who made the presentation to our group on Light Path last June. Sydney here. A lot of us are really interested in seeing what the plan is that they're actually going to evaluate. For those of my, to give you where I live, my house actually backs the Sydney had proposed back in June of last year are going to go at least some, if not all, right along Route 53. Okay, so I want everybody to understand, never driven that road. I didn't ever intend to do it. Say it's going to be very costly. I'm sure that's what the $1.2 billion will ultimately show. Well, all I'm trying to say in the end, that's what it's a misnomer, folks. This is basically going to be along Route 53. It sounds great when you say the East Branch River. I agree with Lloyd. Love to have it if that's where it was going to be. But if you really look at what's being proposed here, that's our focus. City is that it's going to have all or part of it. Of traffic, and you're going to have to. You're going to do anything. Side 53. You're talking about a major expense, a major change for those neighborhoods. So that's all I'm saying. We want to make sure, I'll try to reach out to Sydney again. We just want to make sure that we're kept in the loop. And again, I'd love to see this actually become the East Branch of the DuPage River, but God, folks, that's not what's happening. But it sounds great. I've got pictures. If anybody wants to see it, so I took them right this morning before I came here. I live in Marymount, right by the entrance to something. There's nothing. No. All of you, anybody who has to vote, appropriate funds for this project, just drive it. Thank you.
Linda Smirkin. Linda Smirkin. All right, thank you. D. Lucchese, Chessie.
Sir. Again, also DuPage, yes, and Lori, have brought us some really, really valid points that I'm sure you're all just gonna like. Let me recap what we just said. 3,000 trees. Turn this down, Wheaton has turned us down, why? We have to. Our backyards are big. And a lot of what's gonna be invaded is what's left of the privacy with those trees that have been around it. So we have to challenge everybody to build our privacy fences, because then you're gonna have to ask probably for 3 million, so that you can do it around the whole, everyone's neighborhood to make it safe. Because there isn't one. Drive it, walk it. I invite you all to dinner. I may invite our congressman to dinner to show him what's behind. and how badly it's been invaded now without that path. Sorry, my notes just went away. Okay, since this is not going through the original utilities app presented to the supposed. Since it's not the path that was actually signed for by people that were not aware of the invasion. Forced to protest. This as not only inadmissible, but null and void. We want updated signatures now that everyone is made aware that this path has changed. Those signatures were not for the plan going through. And that's our request now before making it a legal issue, but it will be. We don't want to do that. We want to fight that. Okay. And then, again, we mentioned, you have to update your budget, 1.2 million. Skated away. We're living. Those are our kids. Those are our homes. None of you would want all your trees cut down for a bike path to cut through. I would love a path, but not in our parks. Not where the kids won't be safe. And to Tom's point, there is no room and it's not a safe path. It really isn't with traffic. My time is up. Thank you.
Daniel O'Brien. Daniel O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I also am a resident. My wife and I are actually pretty new residents of Maryknoll Estates. And we came in almost exactly a year ago and fell in love with the property, not just the home, but the backyard is just filled with incredible maples and oaks and a wide variety of just magnificent trees. And we learned about the bike path before we bought the house and were convinced at the time that the trail wasn't going to go behind our house on Glenbard Road. And so, no problem. But now we understand that this is, a very serious issue. And I'm just really here to appeal for a participation in the process. You've heard all the arguments, against it, but I just think that what I understand is that we're surprised a lot by not being involved and not being queried about what the impacts are to our homes and our neighborhoods. But as members of Morton Arboretum too, we spend a lot of time over there, and the commitment they have to trees. I just wish you could see the yard, not from our perspective, but from Glenbard, Glenbard Road. And there's pictures available. I'm sure you've probably seen these things, but the trees that are going to be cut down, I mean, it's kind of heart-wrenching. So I think, instead of leveraging, the real critical issues that have already been discussed here, I just appeal for a greater degree of visibility and participation. With that, I think we'd have a better opportunity to have, real civil and rational conversations that might be able to impact this in a way that would be best for the whole community. We love the idea of the bike trail and, would love to see it happen. But the current preferred route is really just inappropriate and not the best thing for the community. Thank you very much.
Okay, the board has received public comment via our online portal. Per board policy, these comments were provided to board members yesterday, so they could be reviewed, and comments submitted electronically will be included in the minutes of this meeting. On to the consent agenda. I seek a motion to approve the consent items.
Second.
Okay, 23-2554 DuPage County Board Minutes, regular meeting Tuesday, September 26, 2023. 23-31-22, 9-22, 2023 pay list. 23-31-39, 9-26, 2023 pay list. 23, 32, 10, 9, 29, 2023 pay list, 10, 3, 2023 pay list, 23, 32, 15 clerk's monthly receipt and disbursement report, September 2023, 23, 23, 30 change orders to various contracts as specified in the attached packet. All in favor?
Aye.
And on to county board and member Childress.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Today I would like to move on CBR 0091-23, the 2024 County Board meeting schedule.
Second. Question from member Desart.
I don't have a question. I actually have comments. I've served on this board now for 5 years, and almost every year of the 5 years, I've requested for our constituents who work that we do a couple of evening meetings. I've done that almost every year, if not every year. We have people who work, day jobs and can't take time out to come to a 10 o'clock AM meeting. And, I've heard no one will come. If we have a night meeting, nobody will come. And, as I've said, I've served on this board for 5 years. And so let's give it a try again. It's been 5 years. I've heard that it's difficult for the staff. Well, you know what? As an employee, I've had to go to night meetings, and I was compensated with maybe a Friday afternoon off instead of, to compensate for working that extra shift. So I would like to recommend, and I make a motion. The other point I have to raise is this. Yesterday was a holiday. Cannot reach staff on a holiday. We get our board packets on Friday. Actually, this week was Thursday. But but it's difficult to reach staff on Monday if you have questions. I do my board homework, for example, on Sunday afternoons. So yesterday staff was off. So here's what I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to revise this schedule and have May 28th, which is the day after Memorial Day, and November 12th, which is the day after Veterans Day, 2 holidays. My motion is to make those 2 evening meetings, which would start at 6 p.m.
Second.
Member Evans.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have to disagree with this because as a former DuPage County employee, it was extremely onerous for anybody with, it is extremely onerous for anybody with children to have to deal with child in the evenings, and to change something like that with just this discussion. I would not vote in favor of for today. I would like to have more of a discussion if we're going to do that.
Member
you.
Colbert.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was actually thinking, I don't disagree completely with the idea. However, I was thinking maybe we could have a survey that we put out there for our DuPage residents and see how they feel before we make this change.
Anybody else? Member Rutledge.
Thank you, Chair Conroy. I'm in support of Member Desart's effort with this. I've talked about this several times as well. We changed up the order, or we're hoping to change up the order of our agenda so that we make it easier for people to come and give us their opinions on whatever we're facing that day. So I think that only having a morning meeting doesn't give that opportunity to those who are working, and so I would fully support this.
Okay, Member Chaplin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, I've been on the board almost 12 years, and we did try these back in the day, and we didn't get a lot of participation, but I agree, maybe it's time to try it again because, a lot of things have changed with COVID, and now we do have Zoom. So some of our employees could participate. A lot of them do participate via Zoom right now. They're in their offices actually working, but watching. And if they have a question, we have them right here. So maybe for somebody that's working that has a child, they could Zoom in the evening meeting. So it might be a great option and might be some way we can work it, but I think it's worth a try again, to have something, these evening meetings.
Okay, Member LaPlante, and then Member Zay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to add, if we're going to have this for discussion, which I think, discussion is great. We have to be very mindful of the opportunities that we're giving to all of our constituents for their voices to be heard. So in the interest of that, I definitely understand trying to make it easier for people who have childcare issues or work issues. The other thing that I think needs to be brought back to for discussion is the new what we just did recently, which was to remove submitted comments being read out loud at county board meetings. So I would love to revisit that, because in the interest of giving people an opportunity for their voices to be heard, like we've heard from public comments today, it's very important. Under that same umbrella, if we're fighting for more access, more accessibility for working parents or anyone who has conflicts like that, we should make it as easy as possible for their voices to be heard. So as long as we're going to discuss this, I would like to revisit that recent decision of removing the opportunity for written comments to be read out loud at board meetings. Thank you.
Member Zay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Would the motioner be open to just doing the first meeting on May 28th and then seeing how that goes? My only concern is November always seems to be a busy month here with passing budget and discussions, and it would be immediately following, a week following the election. So it would be a very hectic time. So would you be open to just doing the May 28th meeting and see how it goes? And then we could, then schedule another meeting during that time?
Member Desart.
I would, yes. I just picked those two dates because they both follow holidays, staff holidays. So, but yes, I would be amenable to just trying the May 28th date. Thank you.
Okay, so the motion is,
To amend the motion to change the May 28th meeting date. Instead of a 10 a.m. meeting, that we would change it to a 6 p.m. meeting to accommodate constituents who work during the day. Thank you.
okay, we need a roll call for that. Oh, I'm sorry, Member Guston.
Oh, does it need to be seconded again?
Yeah, so
We had the motion in the second.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes, you did. For clarification. Okay, Member Guston.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would recommend that we have the meeting at 7 p.m. There's a lot of people that are actually going downtown right now and they won't have time to come back to a 6 p.m. meeting.
Okay, I'd like to amend my May 28th meeting would be a 7 p.m. start. Thank you. And and it's up to the directors of each department to decide how to compensate their employees for a late night. That's neither come in late that day or give half a day Friday off or whatever, but that's up to our directors to figure that out. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion to amend the schedule, and we're just going to go with one evening meeting on May 28th. Okay, clerk, Member Colbert.
One more question. Did we ask the staff?
I mean, specifically what question?
How do you feel about it?
I mean, the staff will cover whatever meeting is scheduled by the board. I would ask what time would the board like to have finance meeting? I'm assuming if you have a 7 o'clock finance meeting.
Yes, correct.
Something to keep in mind with the night meetings. There will be an added cost for overtime. And to your point, maybe you can give off for some, but there is others that have collective bargaining agreements that it's kind of set how it is. So there will be a cost with that. But I think it's a good idea to maybe try one, see how it is. I've kind of lived through it over the years where we had them, we didn't have them, we had them. They tend to not be as well attended, but it could very well be different people can go to that one versus this one. So it's worth checking it out and saying.
Okay, Member Evans. Hold on, Member Evans was first.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm still not excited about this idea, but I would like to maybe table this, move to table this until we can maybe have a little bit more discussion.
Point of order, that's already a motion on the table to approve it.
Okay. Okay, so let's discuss this. I think there are other alternatives. Maybe we can allow someone to sign up to speak via Zoom during the day. That could be a compromise. I don't think we've explored very many alternatives. This is kind of new to me, so I'm still not excited about this idea.
Okay, Member Schwarzy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's good discussion. I served 13 years on the Carroll Stream Village Board, which we had night meetings, and we rarely got anybody. I think the cost is something, I mean, how do you vote on this without knowing the cost? So I would be certainly interested in hearing what this overtime would cost. I'm going to be voting no today on this.
Okay, Member Dessert.
It is one night meeting a year. I think we could absorb the cost, for gosh sakes, to accommodate those constituents who cannot make day meetings. Thank you.
Okay, so we have Member Yu and then we have Member Ozog. Just a comment. This is a difficult way to do something. It's much better to communicate with your board members so that we can let everybody know what's going on as opposed to trying to do this without the information that people need. So Member Yu.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to state that I'm a new board member, and in this time that I have been sitting representing District 2, I've had 3 separate constituents ask me for night meetings, one from Elmhurst, one from Villa Park, and one from Lombard. So I think it is something that people in the community would like to have as an option for a night meeting. And most city council meetings are in the evening, and there are people who come in for public comment then. So I am in support of this notion. I do agree that there's probably more discussion that needs to be done.
Okay, Member Ozog.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I served on the Glenbard High School Board for 8 years, and every single meeting was at night. Most villages are at night. I think that it's worth trying this for one meeting and see what the participation looks like. Some meetings went till 2 a.m. I hope that that doesn't happen. I also think that the staff costs would probably be fairly minimal, basically security personnel. So I think that taking this option and trying it is a good idea. And a lot of us have talked about this during campaigns, et cetera. And again, most municipalities, school boards, et cetera, meet in the evening, which does increase public participation. Thank you.
Okay, Member Colbert.
Just one more comment. We're just asking for one day to see how it goes and the staff is okay with it. I mean, I don't see a huge issue, and if they get a day off the next year or half the day off the next day, it doesn't really increase the cost, and if it is a cost, it would be minimal. So
Member Childress.
I really have more of a question than anything. Would we be in conflict with any of the municipalities that are holding their night meetings? That's the question that we have. We throw ours out and then we say, okay, well, how does
Okay, that's a good point. Anybody else? Okay, Member Cahill.
I've worked my whole life, have 5 kids. I served on the Elmhurst City Council, went to night meetings, but I agree with the chair. I wish this wasn't sprung on me. I kind of would like to hear how much it costs for the overtime. And that's something that I would like to know before I took a vote on this. Thank you.
Is there a motion?
Okay, I don't know if there was a second on the motion. Okay, second to table. Okay.
We need to vote on the motion.
Okay, we need to vote on the motion to table. And again,
Then we had a motion.
okay. So it looks like we'll be voting on a motion to table to get further information. Roll call, please.
Evans. Kawasi, Garcia,
No. No.
Garcia,
No.
Guston, Krajewski, LaPlante, Ozog,
Yeah.
Rutledge, Schwarzy, Tornatori, you,
No.
Zay, Cahill, Chaplin,
No.
Childress,
yes?
Covert,
No.
Desart,
No.
and Eckhoff. 8 voting aye, 8 voting nay.
Okay, this is a tough one for me. I do believe that we should have an evening meeting, but I also believe that procedurally, everybody should have the information that they need before we take a vote. So I'm going to vote to table. For now. Why don't we what? Okay, and we will bring it back in 2 weeks. Okay, member Desart.
Thank you. Keep in mind that you people who voted to table just voted to spend extra tax dollars to have the staff do research on how much it'll cost to have people stay a couple of hours on a Tuesday evening once. You just voted to utilize staff time to research the cost of staff time, which I find ridiculous, but good luck with that.
Okay, I don't know that I fully agree with that. I think we need to have our questions answered. I think everybody is basically in support of it, but I want my board members to all have the information they need. Member Childress.
The information that I'm looking for is what is the conflict in the community for other municipalities that are having their meetings. That's what I really am interested in.
Okay. Okay, so we have voted to table this for 2 weeks, and we will make sure everybody gets the information they need so that we can bring this back and hopefully fully support having an evening meeting for the county board. Okay, and on to finance and member Chaplin.
Okay, good morning, Madam Chair. Okay, so I move to approve FIR 022123 renewal of group insurance programs, human resources.
It has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Chaplin.
Aye.
Childress. Covert. Desart. Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galassi, Garcia.
Aye.
Justin. Krajewski, LaPlante. Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. And Cahill.
Okay, member Chaplin.
Thank you. So I just wanted to say on these next 2 items, these ARPA items, you know, the county has been able to do a lot of really great things over the past few years because our Congress, all of our congressmen have been able to bring these funds back to DuPage. So it's something that I always think we should keep in the back of our mind when we're approving these. And these are just another good example of our federal dollars going to work for us. So I move to approve FIR 022523, approval of a grant between the County of DuPage and the Community House for the use of ARPA funds for service provided in Willowbrook Corner area in the amount of $277,357 ARPA item.
Okay, we're going to need a roll call, please.
Okay.
Chaplin.
Aye.
Childress.
Yes.
Covert. Desart. Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galassi, Garcia.
Aye.
Justin. Krajewski, LaPlante. Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. And Cahill.
Okay, member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 022623, approval of a grant agreement between the County of DuPage and the YWCA Metropolitan Chicago for the use of ARPA funds for services provided in the Willowbrook Corner area in the amount of $556,684 ARPA item.
Okay, we have a comment or question from member Eckhoff.
Thank you. I just wanted to repeat what I said at finance, since we've got a little bit different audience for county board. But Peggy McGuire with the YMCA and Nick and Mary Keating were nice enough to talk to me yesterday for about an hour about this. My concern is that there's a lot of money being spent and there's not a big enough bang for the bucks. But I realize we have to do something down there. So since this is a 3-year grant, I'm hoping that over the next year, and staff told me we could review this after a year, that we come up with some additional ways to assist the people both in safety and maybe an after-school facility for the children.
Okay, we're going to need a second on this one. Okay, roll call, please.
Chaplin.
Aye.
Childress. Covert. Desart. Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galassi, Garcia.
Aye.
Justin. Krajewski, LaPlante.
Aye.
Ozog. Rutledge. Shorzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. And Cahill.
Member Chaplin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I just wanted to, like I did in finance, thank Member Eckhoff. You know, he took a lot of time yesterday to research and get all of his questions answered, and that's what our jobs are. And I appreciate his support on this, and I'm just happy that it went through the way it did. So with that, I will move on to, I'll ask for approval on FIR 022723, additional appropriation for the public defender, Company 1000, accounting unit 6300, $33,000.
Leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 022823, recommendation for approval of to change the annual compensation for the members of the Sheriff's Mission Merit Commission.
Leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 022923, acceptance and appropriation of the Illinois Home Weatherization Assistance Program grant in the amount of $595,551, community services.
Okay, we're gonna need a roll call, please.
Chaplin.
Aye.
Childress.
Yes.
Covert. Desart. Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galassi. Garcia.
Aye.
Justin. Juski. LaPlante. Ozog. Rutledge. Shorzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. And Cahill.
Okay, Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 023023, acceptance and appropriation of additional funding for the low income home energy assistance program in the amount of increase from 1,118,000 to $1,949,787, an increase of $831,787, community services.
Okay, leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 023123, acceptance appropriation of the Help America Vote Act polling place accessibility grant in the amount of $654,661, the county clerk election division.
Leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
Thank you. And thanks to the county clerk for getting those additional funding for us for the polling place accessibility. I move approval of FIR 023223, appointment of county engineer.
Okay, Member Zay has a question, and then Member
Yes.
Sar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I did have some questions for Bill, if you come up. No, I'm just kidding. Congratulations, Bill. Well deserved.
Member Desart.
Thank you. I wanted to echo that and just say that Bill is fantastic and incredibly knowledgeable key member of our DOT. And I couldn't be more proud to support him with my yes vote. Thank you.
Member Ozog.
I would also like to ask Bill many questions and look forward to doing that for the next couple of years. So thank you, Bill. Very happy you're on board.
Okay, leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 023423, recommendation for the approval of county board rules, rule change, board of agenda.
Leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 023523, budget transfers 101023, various companies and accounting units.
Leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIP 001723, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Rock, Fusco and Connolly LLC to provide consultation services related to collective bargaining matters for labor negotiations for December 1, 2023 through November 30th, 2024 for the county board, a contract total not to exceed $155,000 or $150,000.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member
Thank you, Madam
Chaplin.
Chair.
And Animal Services, Member Kajewski's not here. Do we have anything for?
Nothing at this time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. In Development, Member Tornatori.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move approval of DCP 17-23, a recommendation for approval of a contract to
Second.
Acela Inc. for annual subscription services for Velocimo software integration for online permitting software and Blue Beam plan review for the period December 1, 2023 through November 30th, 2024 for a contract total amount not to exceed $30,618.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Tornatori.
Aye.
You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill, Chaplin,
Aye.
Childress, Covert, Desart, Eckhoff, Galassi, Garcia.
Aye.
Oh, did I miss Evans? I'm sorry, Evans.
Aye.
Okay, member Tony.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Guston, Krajewski, LaPlante.
Aye.
Ozog, Rutledge, and Schwartz. My apologies.
Member Tornatori.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move approval of AHR 2-23, a resolution to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning to participate in a competitive grant application.
Leave is granted.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, member Tornatori. Economic Development, member LaPlante,
No update at this time. Thank you.
and Environmental, member Rutledge.
Thank you, Chair Conroy. Nothing I need to vote on today, but a couple of items I want to make you aware of. First of all, our trash hauling survey has been on the street for like almost 2 months now, yet we continue to get submissions and opinions on that. And I just wanted to invite any board members who'd like to know how the results are coming from either their township or their zip codes. I'd be happy to share that information. They can just give me a call. Second, of course, my computer went to sleep on me here. Oh, come on. I've been trying to keep it awake all this time. Secondly, today I wanted to provide the board with an update on the solar panel installation on this building that was made possible thanks to a generous donation from Ann Boyce-Claire and Jeff Jans of Glen Ellen. The solar panels and equipment are being delivered as we speak. You might have even seen the panels and equipment being staged in the parking lot on the south end of the building. And the solar company has estimated the project will take 7 to 8 weeks, weather permitting. So we should be up and running by the end of this year. I believe there were some photographs that we were going to show. Thank you. Gotcha. So I'm so excited. Supply chain be damned. We're finally going to get this done. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, member Rutledge, and on to Human Services and member Schwarzy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With regards to an update, as this board may recall, that we offered our township food pantries the option to opt out of the Northern Illinois Food Bank's produce program. We were, at the time, we were giving 5 of our township food pantries were participating in that. 2 of those 5 decided to opt out. Addison opted out and York Township Food Pantry opted out, which means that Wayne, Milton, and Lyle all decided to stay in. So I was very happy to hear that, and I just wanted to update this board on that. One other update, our small human services grants. After getting feedback from all 6 districts, we decided to have that check presentation here in between our finance and county board meeting, and that will be held on November 14th, which is our first meeting in November. So please plan on that, and we'll probably have a little coffee and donuts again in one of our conference rooms to be able to meet some of those organizations. So. On to our items to vote on today. I'll move to approve item HSR 6023, amendment to purchase order 60330001 serve issued to Healthy Air Heating and Air Inc. to provide architectural weatherization labor and materials for community services weatherization program to increase the contract in the amount of $192,000 for a new contract amount of $677,534.70.
It has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Schwarzy.
Aye.
Tornatori. Aye. You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Chaplin. Childress.
Yes.
Covert.
Aye.
Desart. Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galassi. Garcia.
Aye.
Liston. Krajewski, LaPlante.
Aye.
Ozog, and Rutledge.
Okay, member Schwarzy.
Thank you. I move on item HSR 6123, approval of issuance of payments by DuPage County to energy assistance providers through the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, HHS Supplemental Grant Plan Year 23, Intergovernmental Agreement number 23274028 in the amount of $558,817.
Okay, roll call, please.
Schwarzy.
Aye.
Tornatori. Aye. You. Zay. Aye. Cahill. Chaplin. Childress.
Yes.
Covert. Desart. Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galassi. Garcia.
Aye.
Justin, Krajewski, LaPlante,
Aye.
Ozog,
Yes.
and Rutledge.
Okay, Member Schwarzy.
Thank you. I move on item HSP 7023, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to DuPage Federation on Human Services Reform to provide telephonic and face-to-face interpretation, American Sign Language and translation services to the Community Services Department for the period October 11, 23 through October 10, 24, for a total contract amount not to exceed $38,000.
Leave is granted. Member Schwarzy.
Thank you. I move on HSP 7123, a recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Medline Industries, Inc. to furnish and deliver surgical face masks for the DuPage Care Center for the period October 11, 23 to October 10th of 24 for a contract total not to exceed $68,830.43.
Leave is granted. Member Schwarzy.
Thank you. I move on item 233192, HHSP 327A22, amendment to resolution HHSP 32722 issued to Air Gas USA LLC to furnish and deliver portable oxygen for the residents at the DuPage Care Center for the period December 1st, 2022 through November 30th, 2023 to increase encumbrance in the amount of $7,500, a 21.43% increase.
Leave is granted. Member Schwarzy.
Finally, I move on item 233193, HHSP 54A23, amendment to resolution HSP 5423 issued to Maxim Healthcare Services to provide supplemental nursing staffing services for the DuPage Care Center for the period April 13, 23 through April 12, 24 to increase encumbrance in the amount of $95,410, a 79.51% increase.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Schwarzy. And now we have Judicial and Public Safety and Member Evans.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move on JPSP 006523, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Axon Enterprise, Inc. for the purchase of Officer Safety Plan 10 Premium to allow for upgraded taser devices for the Sheriff's Office for a contract total not to exceed $3,400,000.
It has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Evans,
Aye.
Galasi, Garcia,
Aye.
Justin, Krajewski, LaPlante, Ozog, Rutledge, Shorzy, Tornatori, you,
Aye.
Zay, Cahill, Chaplin,
Aye.
Childress,
Yes.
Covert, Desart, and Echo.
Member Evans.
Thank you. I'd like to move on JPSP 006623, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Axon Enterprise, Inc. for the purchase of the Fleet 3 system to provide updated technology in all patrol and prisoner transport vehicles for the Sheriff's Office for a contract total not to exceed $1,515,000.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Evans.
Thank you.
Okay, legislative update. Member Desart.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Illinois General Assembly veto session is coming up October 24th, 25th, and 26th, and then November 7th, 8th, and 9th. So it's only 6 days. Not a lot's going to be accomplished. As you know, you served in Springfield. So we'll be talking about our spring legislative issues coming up in the legislative committee. Regarding the federal government, I asked Congressman Weston how he's doing, and he said, don't ask. It kind of says it all about what's going on federally. Thank you. That's the update.
Thank you, Member Desart. Okay, Public Works and Member Garcia.
I am going to allow Vice Chair Ozog to read them because I will not be able to go through them. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Garcia. Member Ozog.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move for approval of FMR 000423, recommendation for the approval of an agreement
Second.
between the County of DuPage, Illinois and the DuPage County Bar Association for lease of space at the Judicial Office Facility for facilities management for a monthly rate of $500 for the 4-year period, April 1st, 2024 through March 31st, 2028.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Ozog,
Yes.
Rutledge, Shorzy, Tornatori, you,
Aye.
Zay, Cahill, Chaplin, Childress,
Yes.
Covert, Desart, Eckhoff, Evans,
Aye.
Galasi, Garcia,
Aye.
Guston, Krajewski, and LaPlante.
Aye.
Member Ozog.
Thank you. I move for approval of FMP 008323. Recommendation for the approval of a contract to Kubler Incorporated to provide professional architectural and engineering design services for the number 2 boiler burner replacement at the power plant, add a new heat exchanger at the JOF building, replace the utility tunnel exhaust fans for the power plant, replace 4 air supply units at the power plant, and construction administration
for the JTK HVAC replacement project for facilities management for the period October tenth, 2023 through November 30th, 2025, for a total contract amount not to exceed $199,125. Professional services vetted through a qualification-based selection process.
Leave is granted. Thank you, member Ozog.
Thank you.
Okay, stormwater, member Zay.
No update.
Okay, strategic planning, member Colbert.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for announcing our October 17th, 12:30 PM meeting. I just wanted to add that we will have lunch.
Okay. Okay, technology and member you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have one announcement for my update today. On September 28th, DuPage County won 2 awards from the National Association of Government Web Professionals. Specifically, we won the 2023 Members' Choice Award for our county website. Our website is getting a lot of accolades, by the way, as well as the 2023 Pinnacle Award for Digital Innovation for the QR Code project. That was the joint project for DV survivors created by Information Technology, Judge Celine Welsh, and the Chief Judge's Office. I mentioned this during tech committee meeting, but I just wanted to say congratulations again to Debbie DC and the whole web services team. Thank you, Madam Chair. And so I move on to TEP 006623. I move a recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Cyber Risk Alliance LLC for membership in the Cybersecurity Collaborative to the National Association of Counties for Information Technology. This contract covers the period of November 24, 2023 through November 23, 2026, and is for a contract total amount of $34,999.
It has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Chaplin. Childress.
Yes.
Covert. Desart. Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Velasi, Garcia.
Aye.
Guston. Krajewski, LaPlante.
Aye.
Ozog.
Aye.
Rutledge. Schwarzy and Tornatori.
Okay, thank you, member you. On to transportation and member Ozog.
Thank you, Madam Chair. By way of committee report, first of all, I want to again thank Congressman Caston for being here today and his staff for funding the 1.2 million for the study for the East Branch Trail. I also want to welcome Bill Edson as the county engineer. Very excited, looking forward to working for you or working with you. Great news for the county. Now, I move for approval of DTR 008423, Willowbrook Corners Safe Routes to School Grant Application assuring DuPage County's financial commitment.
It has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Ozog.
Aye.
Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Chaplin.
Aye.
Childress.
Yes.
Covert. Desart. Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Velasi, Garcia.
Aye.
Guston. Krajewski and LaPlante.
Aye.
Member Ozog.
Thank you. I move for approval of DTR 008523, an intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage and the City of Darien for improvements on Lamont Road from 83rd Street to 87th Street and on 87th Street from Havens Drive to Lamont Road to establish the jurisdictional, maintenance, and energy responsibilities and costs with respect to the traffic signals and street lighting improvements.
Leave is granted, member Ozog.
Thank you. I move for approval of DTP 009823. Recommendation for the approval of an agreement to Leach, Tishman, Filscato, and Lampel LLC to provide professional legal services to negotiate Highway Authority benefit agreement applications as needed for the Division of Transportation for the period December 1st, 2023 through November 30th, 2025, for an agreement total not to exceed $80,000, appointed as special assistant state's attorney by the DuPage County State's Attorney pursuant to DuPage County Procurement Ordinance 2356.
Leave is granted, member Ozog.
Thank you. I move for approval of DTP 009923. Recommendation for the approval of an agreement to Leach, Tishman, Filscato, and Lampel LLC to provide professional legal services to assist with environmental issues as needed for the Department of Transportation for the period December 1st, 2023 through November 30th, 2025 for an agreement total not to exceed $80,000. Appointed as a special assistant state's attorney by the DuPage County State's Attorney pursuant to DuPage County Procurement Ordinance 2356.
Leave is granted, member Ozog.
Thank you. I move for approval of DTP 0123. Recommendation for the approval of a contract to K-Tech Specialty Coatings Incorporated to furnish and deliver de-icing liquids as needed for the Division of Transportation
for the period November 1st, 2023 through just October 31st,
Second most
2025.
favorable rule.
For a contract total not to exceed $215,000 exempt from bidding, not suitable for competitive bids, sole source, proprietary.
Leave is granted. Member Ozog.
Thank you. I move for approval. And by the way, I'm sorry to use the word de-icing, but anyway, I move for approval of 23-30-59 amendment to resolution TEP 041821 issued to AT&T Mobility for cellular and wireless service for the various departments of the County of DuPage to increase the encumbrance in the amount of $60,000 for the Division of Transportation, resulting in amended contract amount of $1,127,950, an increase of 5.62%.
Leave is granted. Member Ozog. Oh, I'm sorry. Question, Member Desart.
Thank you. This race passed me during finance, but I wanted to ask, we see this coming out, Nick, in each department. And I'm just wondering if, I know I've asked this years ago, but do all of our departments work together to get the lowest price, or are they siloed? We're talking about the cellular and wireless services right now. Do all of our departments work together?
The answer is absolutely, but I'm going to turn over to
Okay,
Anthony, but
thank you.
We do. We're all under one contract.
Thank you so much.
Okay, just for clarification, can I get leave again? Thank you. Leave is granted. Member Ozog.
Thank you. I move for approval of 23-31-64 amendment to DTR 029821, agreement between the County of DuPage, State of Illinois Department of Transportation, and Chicago, St. Paul and Pacific Railroad LLC doing business as
Second most
Progressive
favorable
Rail Incorporated for railroad crossing improvements along York Road between Severt Court and Foster Avenue to increase federal, state, and railroad cost participation.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Ozog.
Thank you.
On to discussion. Is there any discussion? I see no discussion. Okay, on to old business. Oh, okay, old business, Member Desart.
Thank you. Chairman Schwarzy talked about I want to talk about money is the general umbrella. Chairman Schwarzy talked about the small agency grant recipients and the event coming up on November 14th. And I just wanted to say, could we not spend money on those giant checks? I think they're a big waste of taxpayer dollars and not very environmentally friendly.
I'm sure we could recycle.
So that's a request, not to spend money on giant checks in case you were thinking of doing that. Secondly, regarding holding one night meeting a year, is staff is putting together the stats on how much one night meeting a year will cost. Would you also please provide how much it costs for the staff to put those numbers together, please? I think it'd be an important comparison. And also regarding, if I could just, answer to Member Childers, comparing are there municipal meetings, school board meetings, other governmental meetings that one night a year? Probably, if you hit any night of the calendar, you're going to hit a municipal meeting of some sort. But I'm asking for one meeting a year. So if there's a conflict with a, Naperville City Council meeting, they can go to the other 11 meetings of the year. Thank you.
Member Tonatori.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm a nocturnal person, so I have no problem with evening meetings. I'm used to it from village meetings and township meetings. But I think, as we all know, people only come to these meetings if they have an interest on the agenda. So if we pick a random Monday during the course of the year, and there's not much on the agenda that interests them, we're going to have as many people as we have here this morning, because people don't come to listen to our mundane stuff. So what I'd suggest, and if we can even do it, is to adopt what they do in the NFL, a flexible schedule, where if there's an interesting topic or a topic that might be of interest to the general public, and we know that a month ahead of time, maybe we think about having that meeting that evening, which might be more susceptible to those people who might want to come that evening. I don't know. I think if we have enough notice, 48 hours or whatever it takes, we should be okay with that. And if we know, a month ahead of time that we're going to talk about something that's got an interest, then let's go with it that night.
Well, we'll definitely look into it, talk to the state attorney, but there is a requirement for notice well in advance of what we're doing. We have to post the schedule. So to shift, and a lot of times we don't know if the topic is is, important or anything till about 2 weeks before, but we will look at that and see if that's a
Oh,
possibility.
we gotta find out what well in advance means.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll talk to state attorney.
Okay, it's just a thought.
Okay, members A.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I know I've been here a long time now, think my own glass, but I brought it up, we did try it. We just talked in finance, we tried doing budget meetings throughout the county and we got nobody to attend, and that was going over the county's budget in 3 different districts that we tried, so I'm up for trying it. Sam said that his flexible schedule, he'd also buy pizza that night too. So I guess as we look at it and see, I don't see the harm. Maybe we can schedule something controversial that night. That might be, that might be something too. So, but again, it's worth trying, but to spring it, I understand all the talk, but yeah, I think people need more information. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think you just need to know what it has. And of course, our staff's going to say they agree with the board, but I'm sure they don't. But we should get some input on it. Thank you.
Okay, Member LaPlante.
Just sort of building on what Member Tornatore started with, one night, one meeting a year is not going to offer us any sort of definitive proof. We would definitely need, doesn't even have like a control method to compare it to. For example, what if it's, not great weather that will affect turnout? So we're not going to be able to really judge the success of offering a different timeline with only one evening. So that's why I'm very glad that we have the opportunity for more discussion, more information. And I think these are wonderful perspectives to bring to those discussions. And I look forward to exploring this further. Thank you.
Member Covert.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think the whole point of even having a meeting in the evening is to get to know the community if there's an appetite for it. So even having one day is not enough. I was okay with 2 nights, but one night is not enough to see what the people want. So if we want to gauge the community, we're going to have more than one night or a survey or something that goes out there. Flexible scheduling, I don't know how I feel about that because it's kind of surprising and I feel like we're going to have a lot more interesting controversial topics after, you never know. So I would be in favor of just testing it out a few times to see where the community stands.
Okay, Member Schwarzy.
Yeah, I'll save I was gonna make a comment, but I'll save it for next meeting when we actually discuss it. So
Okay, Member Desart.
And I want to make it clear that because we're just having, if the board votes for this, we're just having the one meeting in the year because that's all this board wants to go with. That we really need to blow up social media and blow up, our newspaper, press releases, our newsletters. We really need to get it out there that there was a night meeting coming up. We're not just going to sit back on our laurels and hope people come. We've got to let people know, hey, there's a night meeting. If you can't make it during the day, come to this one opportunity in 2024 to let us know what you're thinking about county business. Thank you.
Okay, Member Ozog.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to point out that thanks to some of the changes that we've made, I think we have a respectful amount of public participation now. We've put limits on the time that people speak and the amount of speaking at the meetings. But what we've really added that's of great value is to have anything that people submit electronically available to us. And I think I can probably guess that almost 100% of us make sure that we read those comments. A couple of weeks ago, there were no comments. And we do have that opportunity, which we did not have in the past. So I think we've improved our communication, if anything. So I'm willing to have the discussion and see what happens, but I think we've made good strides, because the other thing to remember, public participation is important, but these are actually business meetings. The same is true for school boards, municipal meetings, et cetera. So while it's important to hear from the public, meetings, as some of you may recall, and my first years on this board, of 2-3 hours duration are not effective. It's not fair to staff. It's not fair to the board. And it eventually ends up, I think, diluting the message when people are just, I think we're in a very good place in terms of the way things are going right now. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Well, this has been a really good conversation, and we'll vote on this again in 2 weeks. I would imagine we'll have the support for one night, but let's make sure everybody has their questions answered. Okay, on to new business.
Thank you,
Member
Chair Conroy.
Rutledge.
I've got 2 things here and I don't understand what I wrote. Anyway, thank you to bringing awareness to breast cancer month. I have 5 sisters. 4 of them have been affected. My mother had breast cancer twice. Fortunately, it's not something that we die of in my family. So awareness is always a good thing. But there is another scourge that I'd like to bring to your attention. This is also Liver Awareness Month. And for the new board members that don't know this, my husband was a hepatitis C person. He got it from a tainted blood transfusion in the early 70s. But hepatitis is one of those diseases where you are not aware that you have it until you are end stage. Fortunately for us, we applied for a life insurance increase when we built our house, and that's when it came up for him. So we had a long lead time to help manage it, but ultimately he did have to have a liver transplant. And because our diet is so rich in sugar and carbohydrates, that is deeming a lot of available livers for transplantation unacceptable because of fatty liver disease, which is something that also happened to him as well. So I just want to bring it to your attention that there are more people in this country with hepatitis C than AIDS. And according to the CDC, 3.2 million Americans are affected with hepatitis C, yet a whopping 75% have no idea that they even have that. So if you're above, I would say 50 years old, it is not a test that they run as a routine blood panel. So ask your doctor to test you for hepatitis C because you can. There are wonder drugs at this point that will cure you of that hepatitis before you end up on a liver transplant list. So thank you very much.
Okay, anybody else? Member Desart.
Yeah, under new business, I just wanted to say, reflect on what Congressman Caston said this morning, is that in this job, one of the high points is that you get to sometimes personally support significant things that are personal to you. And this morning at 7 a.m. I attended the meeting of the Indian Prairie Education Foundation, and they were thrilled to get the $20,000 small grant donation, and they talked about it and how significant it is for their homeless population. They have a 21% homeless population or underprivileged population in District 204. And this $20,000 is going to help feed them breakfast and lunch, transportation, clothing, personal hygiene items. And it was really wonderful this morning to see how our small grant agency grants will be used in a very real and significant way. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. I think those stories are really important. Okay, anybody else? Okay, I am informed we do have matters before us requiring us to enter into executive session. I'll ask those not associated with the executive session to please exit the room. One matter of discussion involves pending litigation, and 2 other matters are imminent or probable litigation against the County of DuPage. Based on the information provided by counsel, I have determined that these matters are in fact probable and imminent litigation, and I ask the board to adopt the findings by taking a motion to go into executive session.
So moved. Second.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Cahill, Chaplin,
Aye.
Childress.
Yes.
Covert, Desart, Eckhoff, Evans, Velasi, Garcia.
Aye.
Guston, Krajewski, LaPlante, Ozog, Rutledge, Shorzy, Tornatori, you,
Aye.
and Zay.
We're gonna need a couple minutes. Okay. Couple minutes. Supposed to do it.